What's up, y'all? You are now rocking with the Major Figures Podcast.
Major Figures Podcast.
I'm Goody. This is Chris Darnell. And we just here to have a conversation with y'all.
Yeah.
So today we want to talk about what's holding you back talking about entrepreneurship.
Honestly, it took us a minute to get this podcast started.
About a year.
Yeah, we procrastinating, but we were just working on some other things. But even when it comes to entrepreneurship, man, there's no really cookie cut way of getting started, and everybody's gonna have some issues, some procrastinating, and all of that, man. I know for me, I done worked every job you can think of.
Right.
I know you've been.
Yeah, I had a lot of jobs, a lot of different career paths I thought I might take. But when we talking about entrepreneur, let's get this, because a lot of people think we're trying to tell everybody go into full-time entrepreneurship.
Right, man. Just
quit your job.
Cold turkey.
Yeah, we're not saying that. But I do think that everybody has some type of entrepreneur spirit in them because everybody got talent.
Everybody do. Everybody got a gift, something that they can do that outside of clocking into a 9 to 5. But a lot of people don't know what that is, though.
That is true. But the only problem with that to me is when you work in a job, it's a cap. You're going to be getting paid this $17 an hour. The company might max out at $20. But when you figure out your entrepreneurship or whatever you're doing, there ain't no cap to that.
Yeah, but the scary part about being an entrepreneur is that you don't have someone giving you a paycheck at the end of the week. You have to create your own paycheck. You don't have a 401k. You got to create your own.
Right.
You don't have vacation time, no PTO. You got to create all of this for yourself. And that's the scary part about it, man, because a lot of people, they don't want to have to deal with that. It's the fear of the unknown, man.
Right. But you like how they tell you, no risk, no reward. Like, being scared money don't make no money. That's a true statement. Like, even with the stock market, when we first started messing with the stocks, you putting $20 in the stock market thinking you're going to come up off of $20 because you're scared to put $500 in there.
Yeah. And a lot of people say, y'all can say that now, or y'all can go and make all of this in one day, and it takes me 2 weeks, so I don't have the amount of money that y'all have to invest, so I don't have that. It wasn't always like this, man.
Thanks.
Like, there's been weeks, man, starting cutting hair, bro. Been weeks where you making $75, or man, you been cutting all week and make $75 after you pay booth rent, bro.
And sitting in there just watching other people cut hair on YouTube.
I'm telling you, bro.
Yeah.
And if you sitting there, man, nobody want to come sit in your chair, and you sitting there not cutting anybody. There's a line waiting on this guy or two people, and you sitting there cutting nobody, man. Ain't nobody trying to sit in your joint.
And it's like, so with that being said, it's like, how bad do you want it? Like, what risks are you willing to take to be an entrepreneur or to try something you believe in? Like, because it's a struggle sometimes. And speaking of struggle, if you got a struggle beard, try out Bearded Brothers
Beard Brothers
oil.
Come
and
on,
maybe, that struggle will become a success story.
You see it.
Check them out on Instagram at Bearded Brothers _CO. And maybe your beard will grow.
Okay, well, I see that. I like that. That was the word.
Yeah.
Struggle. Okay, cool.
So, but like with the struggling, like you got to go through something to get somewhere. And it's not like magic where you just start a business or you start trying to do something and it just automatically happens. It takes time.
I know for me, right, I came into entrepreneurship. Well, my mind was always different, man. I always wanted to try stuff. I always wanted to have my own business and running things. Mm-hmm. But I opened up so many businesses. Some didn't work. Some worked temporarily. But what really pushed me into entrepreneurship full time was getting fired, bro.
Facts.
Getting fired, man. I was driving garbage trucks, man. My mindset of this job was like, man, we don't have to be here. You know what I'm saying? I was teaching that.
That's crazy.
That no job gospel,
yeah,
man. I was like, we don't have to do this. We can start our own thing, man. We don't have to work for these people, man. I'm talking all the jump, but I'm sitting there driving them around working the job too, man.
But it was in you.
It was in me. But them people let me go, bro, and that joint changed my life. Like, I was not prepared for that. I'm teaching these people, telling people how to start our own, how to save money, how to be prepared. They fired me, bro, and I was not prepared,
Right.
man. And that joint was crazy, man. Bro, I went to survival mode trying to do all the little things I knew how to
Yeah.
do to make money. And when I got fired, bro, at the time I was married, had I think I had both my sons then, and they fired me, bro. And I needed to do something, so I started cutting hair in the shop, but it was not making the money that I thought that it was supposed to.
Right. And I feel you on that because that's how I guess some people already got that entrepreneur spirit in them. Because I used to do the same thing. Everybody I talk to is, what you really like? Even on the job, like asking people, what do you really want to do?
Right.
Because I really wanted to do what I wanted to do. And at the time, it was probably like music and stuff like that. But I was willing to try anything to get off of this job that I didn't feel like I had it was bringing in great money, but I didn't have like a peace about it or a joy about being there. It was almost depressing at times, even though I was making pretty good money. I was making really good money. So when they laid me off, it was like, dang, I'm going to take some time, but do I really want to go back and find just another job? And the same thing can happen again.
Bro, that joint, losing a job, bro, getting fired, having somebody having that much control over whether I'm able to feed my son or whether I'm able to pay my bills, bro, that joint hit me, bro.
Right.
And I was like, I would never give nobody else that much power again. They offered me the job back, and even though I needed that joint, I needed that job, bro. I ain't gonna lie, I needed it. I turned that man down, bro. I turned him down because I knew what I seen. I knew the vision I had for my family, bro. And even though I needed that job, dog, I turned that joint down. Dog, I turned the job down while I was watching these people repossess my car,
Dang,
bro,
see?
because I didn't have the money.
See, now if that ain't fair right there, and you still did it,
bro. Dog, my wife at the time, she was pissed
I
off,
believe.
But
Because
I
you look
knew
crazy.
what I seen, dog. That joint look crazy,
It look
man.
crazy.
The mortgage company said, we need that payment. I told that man, I don't need this job. Nigga, I was lying, bro.
Right.
But I believed in my heart that I seen something differently, man.
So, so when people say they are afraid to start something, we was afraid too.
Yeah.
But I bet you glad you did it now.
Oh, brother, if they wouldn't have fired me, man, I would have still been there.
Exactly, working the job. So people, the best way to get over the fear is to keep your job while you try to do something. If you have some type of talent, if you're known in the family for cooking, everybody love this specific dish, why not try to make that dish and start selling it to people?
Selling it to people, man. Like, you don't just have to jump out there, man, and try to fly, but you can just go out there, man, and just start small. If you don't have a lot of money to invest, start small, but you got to start somewhere. And we, as people, we think of all the negative things that can happen.
Right.
We already know what can fail. We already know what can go wrong, but we have to think about what could go right. What if this dish was the one that gets picked up or gets seen or goes viral on TikTok? Or what if I do this and this is what takes off? We never know until we try it. That's why I had all of these businesses, man. I had owned a record label, 2 of them. Had the license and everything. I had a graphic design company. It didn't go over too well.
Yeah.
I did landscaping. I just went strictly photography one time. I just tried to do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And had the trucking company. Some worked, some did not. But I would not have known if I didn't try with this barbershop, man, with the barbershop that we do, bro.
See, and that's the thing. People are afraid to even try. That to me, that's like probably people you don't even want to try and you already scared. You ain't even try. So what if you fail or if it don't work out? The same with you, the same with me. We done tried different businesses and everything not a failure. Because sometimes you get contacts, you meet people, you figure out how to handle business, dealing with different people. And for me, like with the clothing line, it was a pretty, to me, successful because we was able to sell shirts and merch throughout the United States, different states. So, and it was encouraging people and all that. So, but it wasn't successful to me as far as financial for my goals in my head. But my goals are really big. But being the person I am, I'm thinking like, if it don't reach this by this, I'm gonna move on to something else.
Do you think that everybody is meant to be an entrepreneur? Like, do you think everybody's meant to work for themselves? Period, bro.
That's a hard one. I guess, of course, I think so.
I
To a
don't
certain
know,
extent,
bro.
not full time. I'm not saying full time, but
Yeah.
I think because if you have a talent, you can use that talent to make sure you are straight instead of just that company or
Yeah, but
helping that
I
company
don't know if
grow
you
too.
remember the conversation that we had when you were saying that some people just mentally just not there, bro.
Yeah, I believe that.
It's,
So
everybody is not, bro.
that's true.
Everybody is not meant to do it. I was about to bring up somebody in the situation, but I don't want to do that. But I believe that some people are just meant to. Man, I was at the flea market, right? What was that Sunday? Went to the flea market, and there was a guy. My three guys. One of them like 21 Savage.
Yeah.
Anyways, he gave me a CD. Boy, still doing that, man. Gave me a CD. It was like, man, just support my music
Right.
or whatever.
Hold on, can we plug this in? There's no CD players in these new cars. Like, just go to Apple Music, go to these streaming
Give me a link or
services,
something, bro.
give people a little card with a link so they could tap, because nobody's getting CDs and plugging in CDs that I know of.
Gave me a CD, man, and he was like, yo, check me out. We trying to do it, support us or whatever. I'm like, God, man. So I was like, man, I ain't got no cash. Oh, we take cash out. So I
Nigga, gotcha.
sent the man like $5, right? And he was like, appreciate that. I took the CD. I still ain't listen. I don't have nowhere to play it. So stuck it in the car. Man, I'm walking around the flea market. I get to the other side. They was like, yo, bro, hey, check us out. I said, you just gave me one.
Oh, dang, he don't even
around
remember
the
his
side.
client, his customers.
That nigga need to work for somebody, man. He do not need to run this. He can't even remember, man.
Right.
Do that to me again. I'm gonna request that $5
All
back,
right.
man.
Yeah.
But some people just, bro, people just don't need to work for themselves, dog. Some people
I
just
guess so.
don't, man.
I guess so. And that could be true. But if you do have some sense, and you not you smart, you pretty smart
What
person,
you about to say?
a dummy. You ain't no dummy. But you pretty smart. Well, I'm just like, maybe this not for everybody, for the people who actually want to try something, who want to step out and do something, and it's already been in the back of their mind. I guess this is more for them. Because, everybody, you don't need to go quit your job without a plan and talking about you stepping out on faith.
Let me tell you something. My uncle, right, man, he might be like in his late, he might be about his mid-50s, right?
Mm-hmm.
He worked for a company his whole life. He drive like 18-wheelers. He do like towing those. He tow 18-wheelers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Been working for companies for a long time. And he wanted his own, but he never did it until maybe like 3 years ago.
Uh-huh.
In his mid-50s, he went and purchased his own truck and started doing it, man. He said, nephew, he said, I made more money in a month than I can make in almost a year working for somebody else, man.
Was he afraid to start before that?
He was afraid.
See, man, that's what I'm saying. That fear.
It's a big, well, for him, it was a big investment.
Mm-hmm.
And he just did not want to make that big investment and not know what it's going to look like.
Right. And but that's like, if you can't get over that fear, you can't get to the reward, though. Like, that fear is a killer.
Fear will destroy you,
like,
man.
What if that fear is just meant to be there to torment you, to stop you, to getting from with your goals, to reaching your real goals? It's just like, this is part of the game of trying to get somewhere in life. It's always going to be some fear. But if you're going to let fear cripple you, then you just keep working. Just keep going to that job you hate.
Keep going to that job you hate, man.
And even when people be like, money, what's some tips you got for people who claim they don't have no money to start anything?
Nah, I don't believe that. Because if you got money to go buy shoes, buy clothes, to spend on frivolous,
the brunches and
come on, man,
getting mimosas, bottomless mimosas,
carafes. They got names for it, but I'm just saying
though, the glass is this big. that can't be cheap. That mimosa glass is this big.
And I went to West Point. They got the tower.
I'm just telling you, like,
come on, man.
That's why $50, $30. How much is that? About 30.
It's something up there.
Right.
You going about Saturdays,
come on,
and
man.
Sundays, man. That stuff add up.
Like, nobody want to sacrifice. A lot of people don't want to sacrifice their enjoyment to do something that they really need to be doing.
We'll spend money on what we want to.
Oh yeah, facts
or whatever.
And
because a lot of people are just really living for right now.
that's true.
And that's scary though, especially when you have kids and stuff like that.
Right.
Because my people, they left me with nothing, brother.
Yeah.
So everything that I got, you know what I'm saying, of course, glory be to God, but whatever. But I had to work for this joint, man.
Right,
and
right.
that joint, I'm not trying to do that for mine, man.
So like, and let's, cause everybody, I'm not a big fan of just working and not having no fun either. Cause I've done that before too, and that's a boring life.
Yeah.
So how about a tip for people is give yourself 4 months or 3 months. If you can't sacrifice having fun for 4 months, you're not an adult. Cause this is the real world. So give yourself, set you a time limit. Like I'm gonna save, put this much money back instead of going out for 4 months to start small for some inventory or whatever you're trying to do.
Yeah. I'm like really big on like setting goals, man. You don't have to. We want to what they say, we live for the day and not tomorrow's satisfaction.
Mm-hmm.
Like we try to get everything, like we want it now.
Yeah.
There was a post that was made about 2-income household. If this person makes 40,000, this person makes 60, you know what I'm saying? That's that's a 6-figure income, $100,000. So what if you could live off one and save the other? Not necessarily saying that you have to save the whole income, but save something so that you can have something for later, or you can invest that money and create wealth for your kids and your grandkids and stuff like that. But we, a lot of us really be feeling like we don't know what tomorrow has in store for us.
Are you talking about them people, them YOLO people?
Bruh.
That just want to just don't save nothing and just live?
Just live, man. As long as my bills get paid and I'm able to, you know what I'm saying, take a trip, or I'm able to go, you know what I'm saying, like, that's cool. Like, I'm big on having fun. I love to travel, you know what I'm saying. I love to do all of that. But I also love my kids, too.
Yeah.
And I really believe in setting, and not even necessarily, yeah, of course, for my kids, but I want to be able to help people, too.
Right, right.
But we aren't willing to make a sacrifice. And it's almost a selfish thing, man.
Yeah, could you say being selfish to yourself or to your dreams because you won't even pursue them?
Yeah. But a lot of us feel like we never had anything, bro. Never had anything. So when I get something,
I'm going
to enjoy it, bro.
So that's almost like, that's a whole different type of topic because then you need some mental coaching, somebody to coach you.
Somebody to balance your
right,
out,
like
bro.
to get in your psyche and talking to you about the actions you're taking. Because that is like almost like I don't want to say trauma, but when you ain't never had nothing, then you get some money, some people don't know how to act.
What?
But how would they know how to act?
They wouldn't, bro. That's how them people with them lotteries, winning them lotteries, bro,
right,
and go broke.
Bro, and them stories be terrible.
Bro. And
So-
them, bro, they be saying this is the worst thing that could have happened to me. They be like, man, this young one, I
Almost
wish
like
I would have never won
One
it.
of them on public service, do not play the lottery. It will ruin your life.
Especially if you win.
Oh my goodness.
You will win and lose at the same time.
Trying to putting that fear in you.
That joint is crazy, bro.
But another tip too for like people who claim they don't have any money, because everybody can save or whatever. But if that's not for you and your credit is decent, you get you a credit card. A lot of credit cards are giving out 0 interest for 12 months. If you get that credit card and you have some type of discipline and you put that towards your business and then pay back the credit card, that's almost like funding your business on a debt-free loan.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that is very true, man. But when it comes to credit cards, man, a credit card is not, I repeat, that joint is not your money.
Right.
It is not an extra bank account. That joint is not, man.
It get out of control real quick.
That discipline is something serious when it comes to them credit cards. Man, quit selling credit cards, right?
Yeah.
So my sister, man, senior year of high school, she started getting all of these credit cards. And she's not one for discipline. At that time, she wasn't one.
Right.
But she took them credit cards. I'm talking about anytime somebody offered her one, I'll take it. Took every single one. Come on.
Yeah.
Took them credit. Boy, maxing them joints out. But I think she didn't even have a job at the time, man. So she knew she wasn't going to pay them joints back. Buying up the shoes.
Yeah.
Chains. Boy, just buying up everything that the world had to offer her.
Man,
bro.
and them companies dirty now because they be targeting us when we young.
As soon as you get a credit
Bro,
score.
as soon as we got on campus when we was going to school, we went, man, this how they set us up. They was giving out free pizza at like Papa John's or somewhere or whatever it's at. It was a pizza spot. They was giving us free pizza, and then they had the credit card people set up right there.
Boys been hungry, bro.
Boy, we was getting free pizza, and we was thinking we was getting free money.
Like, give me the 8 pin. Give me the 8 pin right there.
Just shooting your social number out like it was nothing.
Yep.
Man,
287. Yelling
telling
at
you,
people I ain't even care,
bro,
man.
we had no business getting a credit card. I think I bought some dang Kobe's, some clothes. There's maxed out my limit. I had no way to pay it back. Just tore up my credit real fast.
They would not give me a credit card for the longest, bro. I really want to believe my mama, somebody had something in my name. But I ain't gonna say that though, cause I ain't.
You already did, brother.
But I really believed something like that, because they would not give me one, man.
You know how they used to do back then. You got TVs in your name, all kind of stuff, cable. You ain't nothing but 5 years old.
We seen when you were 3, you had an apartment on a Manorwood.
I'm telling you, like,
an apartment at 3.
That's how it was.
Wow, bro.
But man, we just want to encourage everybody to, like, if you have a business in your mind, just try to do it. Just try or talk. We do a lot of brainstorming with our clients when they come, because a lot of them are always talking about what they want to do. One thing we like to do is brainstorm, and we come up with good ideas for a lot of them. Some of them take it, some of them don't. So, but with that being said, is having the right people around you that are go-getters or that have stepped out and did some type of business or done took a chance. You got to keep those people around you.
Yeah, speaking of stepped out, I got to segue, my man. Speaking of stepped out, man, shout out to my man, Derek Davis.
Husky
the brand, man.
Yeah.
He stepped out, started a clothing line, man. It's really a culture. So just husky-hearted, man, on IG, all of that, man. Definitely go and shop with my man, get some merchandise.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Derek.
But man, I think that's...
Hold on. Yeah. Before we close, you got to have some people who are go-getters around you. You can't just have
your circle, man.
You can't just have Joe Blow who just want to go to the job and he been on time and ain't never missed a day in 24 years, because he ain't gonna tell you to step out. He gonna tell you to go to work. You got to have that yin and yang, somebody to keep you balanced, and some risk takers around you in your circle so they can push you to do some stuff that will make you uncomfortable. Because usually when you're uncomfortable, that's where the reward is at.
Yeah, that's where the reward is at. My stepdad, bro, he was big on working for the state. Get that state job.
Oh yeah, that insurance.
That state job. You have that good retirement. When you get old, son, you're gonna need that retirement.
Drilling it in your mind.
You're going to need that Social Security, son. Get a state job, son. You're going to need that.
Benefits?
Benefits, man. I tried working for the state, man. I was at the school district, stayed there for some time, but that joint was not me, bro. I could not do that joint. And I felt like I was disobeying them, man. He still thought I worked at the state until we driving a garbage truck.
That man was proud.
And they had me in his neighborhood one day. And he was outside in the front yard, man. I tried to drive the truck, man. I tried to slide down to the seat, man. He looked at me. He shook his head. State job, son. State job. I said, God, man.
That ain't considered, I guess, a city.
Nah, it wasn't. This is a little private-owned company, man.
Oh,
he
dang.
felt some type of way about that joint. Man, that's like, see, I done told you to get them state jobs.
Like, that's the best you could do in life is that state job.
State job, and he would never let me cut his hair, bro. He did not believe in
entrepreneurship. What you doing trying to be an entrepreneur?
Man, it wasn't until he was dying of cancer, bro. He called me. I was at the shop. He said, I need you to cut my hair.
Wow.
And that was the last haircut he ever got, but the first haircut I ever gave him, man.
See, and on the flip side, you had people telling you that you need to go to work. On the flip side, my father had a lot of businesses that I can remember. He drove trucks. He had his own trucking company. He had a limo service. He had a driving
word.
service. So I seen the entrepreneur side too. So I could be a little biased too. But he worked too. He always worked. He always kept a job or whatever. So I could be a little biased when I'm trying to push people to entrepreneurship too. But you had it opposite. People telling you to go to work. You still became an entrepreneur.
Still, because I believe in something different, man.
Right.
I know I'm my own boss, bro.
Right.
I'd rather work $1 million for myself than work 40 for another man.
And I
man.
guess that's why we go so hard trying to push people out their comfort zone, because it is rewarding to have your own business and to like control your own schedule.
Yeah, that junk, man. It's crazy, bro. Now that I think about it, man. Bro, I was driving school buses, man. We got paid twice a month.
Mm-hmm.
Each check was $400. I was making $800 a month, bro. Yeah. Working for the state, man. I was married, bro. Bro, rent was $557 at that time. And like still had all these other bills, bro. But I made
people saying right now, what you complaining about?
$800 a month, man. Bro. And I look at that joint like, bro, I can make that in a day, bro.
Bro, and you know what? Like now, when I think about it, I think one of the breaking points for me when I knew I couldn't go back and get another job, when they had us working 7 days a week, 10-hour shifts. We was doing that work every day. You talk about depressed. I would go, or it was a construction site. I would just go in the Porta-John. As nasty as a Porta-John is just sit there and be like, what are you doing with your life? Like, you just at work every day.
Your wife like, you come on, I'm going to stay at the job.
Right.
Tonight,
just
I
go
gotta
to sleep
be back
in the car.
morning anyways.
Only got 2 hours.
Boy,
Like, that ain't no way to live, man. So, yeah.
Bro, when I started seeing the people at the job more than I see my own family, bro,
yeah,
that's the problem.
That causes problems, too. It causes a lot of problems. So, man, yeah. So, man, y'all go for it, man. If y'all have any stories, y'all put it in the comment section. If you are an entrepreneur, talk about it in the comment section so we could start some type of dialogue. If you're scared or if you don't believe in entrepreneurship, put your reasons for that in the comment section too, so we could create a conversation going. Might help really somebody.
Create a community, man. We got a lot more coming, man. We got a lot more in store.
Facts.
We're looking forward to just interact with the people, man. This podcast isn't really just about us, man. It's about y'all.
Right.
So, man, we're looking forward to growing and building and creating major figures, man. All can make some major figures.
Right, because who don't want to be a major figure and who don't want major figures? And we just want to figure out how to get to that point. So, thanks.
So, with this podcast now, it's every episode is going to be about entrepreneurship.
Oh, no.
So
talk about all kind of stuff.
Talk about life, man. We're gonna love, we're gonna laugh, we're gonna cry, we're gonna have our moments, man. But we really just want to come to where you at and just really connect with the people.
Facts. So I'm Goody.
Chris Darnell.
All right.